it doesn't matter if people judge you for who you are. There's going to be someone to love you for whoever you are.
Yeah.
You know.
Yo,
so
listen, her face, bro. Like,
Whose face? Her face.
Oh, Sade.
yo.
2 things I would go to jail for.
Oh, no.
Children, and a man would trick me into risking my life.
Mm-hmm. Hey everyone, we are back again for another episode of the Student to Life podcast, where learning and unlearning has no limits. Today, we have a special episode for you guys. Remember, we're in the season of love and relationships and all of that juiciness. And today we are interviewing these beautiful single ladies, boss ladies, talented ladies, and we are so excited to get into the juice today. So I'm gonna have everyone introduce themselves. We'll start with Sade.
My name is Sade. Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming, man.
Yes.
And my name is Theta, otherwise known as T.
Hi, Theta.
My name is Anthea.
Otherwise known as.
And as y'all know, my amazing co-host.
Stretch, and I'm here again.
Yes. So let's get into it, guys.
Okay, let's get into it.
So, you know, we're talking about the dating life, right? We're in 2023. And, you know, the dating industry is a little different than how it used to be. Whew. So.
Before you get started, I just want to ask, what do you guys do profession?
Yeah.
I own a salon here in Broward County. I'm an active stylist as well.
Okay.
I also do a little interior designing on the side, and I'm a mother of 2.
Name of your business?
Just Hair Care.
Okay.
I'm also a student.
Oh, yes.
I'm in school
Psychology,
pursuing
right?
my master's in psychology. And hopefully I will make it to the doctorate level.
And when do you sleep?
Right.
We don't talk about that.
And T, how about you?
I'm a licensed real estate broker associate. So I've been doing real estate for about 10 years now,
Okay.
11 years, and love it. I don't think I'm going to leave that industry. And that's pretty much it.
So I know where to go when I want a house. Okay.
Yes. When
How
you want
about
a
you?
house, when you want a commercial property, whatever.
I am a hairstylist, a suite owner, and I do natural hair, hair care for afro hair and locks.
Nice.
Okay, now we could jump right into it.
All right, ladies. So I'm curious to know, you know, we kind of, as women, we have our, when we're little girls, you know, we see the fairy tale lifestyle. And we're like, ooh, I want that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious to know, what are you guys' end goal for just your fairy tale lifestyle?
Wow. That's a good question. You come with some good questions. But now, the woman that I am today, because it's safe to say I am a woman,
Yes.
and I know what I do not want,
Yes.
and I know what I want.
Yeah. It's a discovery process.
My fantasy dream relationship world would be peace.
Okay.
Peace.
That's beautiful.
That's mine.
For me, I don't believe in fantasy.
Okay.
For me, I want to live it. So I guess my fantasy is traveling the world, which I already do, and then being able to do the things I want to do as far as having the funds to do it, which so far I've been able to do. And there are a few more things I want to accomplish, which I would need more money to do, and I'm going to do that. So that's how I look at it. I don't really like the fairy tale, oh, I want to get married and have this big wedding dress and I want to run down the aisle. I don't really have that mindset. I want what I want, and I want it to be real.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
that's me.
I don't have a fantasy. It's goals. More professional goals, but also romantic goals. You know, I do want to be married. I might want another child. I am a mom of 1, and but the other child, we'll see. We'll see how life goes, because I also want to enjoy all of life, all that life has to offer. I want to travel. I want to Just not worry about anything. I don't have to work after a while. Like, just enjoy life. And yeah, that's it.
So would you guys want your person to come fully equipped as far as financially, or would you not mind someone that is building up themselves?
That's another good
Who wants to
question.
start?
I'm gonna start. I want my person to not necessarily be rich,
Okay.
and I also don't want to have to build a man either. I would want my person to have my back.
Okay. Alright.
That's all I ask for. Have my back in the same way. I mean, you can't expect you out of people,
Right.
but I need you to have my back, especially the same way I have yours. You know, just have my back. Check on me. Did you eat?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I need someone to have my back.
Okay.
I'm not building at this point in my life. I don't recommend it 1 out of 10 because to me, I feel like at this point in my life, anyone that's an equal or supposed to be an equal should be at a certain point in their life too. Right?
Okay.
Now, obviously, I think we're always growing and we need to expand and become more successful in whatever it is that we want to accomplish. But as far as building, I just can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't find it.
I can understand.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
too much work, and
And
then
it's time.
sometimes it's for nothing, and you end up in the end like with nothing.
It's the for nothing part for me.
like what are you doing this for? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you want to be with somebody that's already wanted so much in life that once you combine your efforts, it's like
Yeah.
amazing. You know what I mean?
yes,
That's
I
where I'm
agree.
at. I'm not with the.
Can you
building
imagine
anymore.
building and then them come take?
Yeah.
No, but I think what her main question is like, what if you find somebody that's already in motion? That's the way I'll put
Were
it.
you already in love with?
No,
motion.
already in motion as far as
Emotion.
life is concerned, like financial wise. Like he's not there yet, but he's
In motion.
But what
having the
is there?
steps
How did
to
you
get
get
there.
There.
How did you even get in motion in the first place?
I mean, you have the ambition. Like for instance, you're in a career, but you're not. The peak is yet.
Well, here's the
Okay.
crazy part. For me, it's like this. Men don't date women that are potentially pretty. Right?
Say that again.
Men don't date women that are potentially pretty.
Okay.
That have the potential to be attractive
Okay.
or pretty. So why are we going to put ourselves in a position we're going to be with a man that could potentially do better?
Okay.
You know, like I think a man needs to be alone and have an opportunity to build. And that's okay if you could be cool with him and allow him to build and do his thing.
Right.
And then once he gets to a certain level and catches like a rhythm, then you guys can combine your efforts and then go from there.
I see it a bit differently, but I understand what you're saying.
I have something
I
to
think
say.
build. Oh, go ahead.
Okay. I get where you're coming from because I've been a hairdresser for a while, so, and I'm still a hairdresser, but I was always in motion, and it took me 9, 10, 11 years to get to where I'm somewhat comfortable.
Exactly.
So, as long as you have the ambition
That's where I was getting at.
and you have my back, we can move.
Right, because you don't want to be with somebody who's they're not successful as yet, but you just sit like we talked about last week. You're just sitting down with no ambition to go forward.
Yeah.
So I mean, I can't fault you for wanting
But
somebody.
she was much younger when she was going through emotion.
I understand,
That makes a
but
difference.
everybody sees it differently. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because most people, like for instance, I always use Steve Harvey as an example. He didn't get rich until he was in his 40s, almost 50. So I mean,
Maybe it was building
But look at
that
the woman
whole
that he
time
bagged
before.
when he got to that point, though.
he did have a good-looking woman before that.
True.
Right.
But he
So
bagged-
it's not about who you bag. It's about, like I said, somebody sees the potential in you. Like I've seen it happen. It's not like a fairy tale. I've seen it happen. If somebody sees the potential in you and know that you're already making those steps. It's not like somebody sitting home and waiting for you to bring home the check every Friday. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I understand you have your standards, and
Yeah, but
everybody does.
the story you're using as a reference, right?
Mm-hmm.
Steve Harvey had a wife that was with him when he was giving free shows at a comedy club.
Mm-hmm.
And once he got big, he moved on.
But he also spoke about his experiences of not being happy in that marriage.
Which is fine, you know what I
Exactly.
mean? But I'm just saying, it still doesn't dissolve the fact that the woman that he was with was there when he was building.
She was, but happiness is your number one goal.
It's important.
So
It's
you're not
important.
happy.
It's
So
important.
regardless
I didn't
poor
know
or
that
rich.
story.
Right.
Yeah, it's a big story, and I
Right.
actually you know, kind of tuned into that. And I agree with you. If you're not happy, you're just not happy.
Right.
But it does prove a point that you could invest 10, 20 years of your life, and that person can get to a certain point. Because they can leave you while they're still building, but they
Right.
don't. They stay.
But the thing is, even if you find somebody that's there, they'll still leave you regardless of the fact. So where you are in your life doesn't predict how you're going to move forward with somebody. So you could build up and get to the point and realize this is not working for me. Or you could be there already in something with somebody for 10 years and it just didn't work out for you. It could work out either way. So I don't think your finances have anything to do with that. It's just the person you are when you get to a certain place.
I think it works till it doesn't.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
I feel like some men, you know who they really are when they have money.
Some, yeah.
Some, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A good number, I would say. I think that when men are not in a good financial status, they are willing to settle.
Yes.
And they're willing to work with you, and they won't move away from you because there's benefits that come with you. And then the day that financial situation changes, you see the real person.
But you know what I've also learned? I've also learned one important thing. A lot of times when you get successful, you're not the one who changes. The people around you do.
That's true. That's a
You know
whole
what I'm
other
saying?
topic.
So,
Yeah.
so you might think, oh, the person just got rich and they decide to move away and decide to leave me and go be with somebody else. But you're the one who changed in that whole relationship, because now you start to mention, oh, you got a nice car now, so you're moving different now. No, you know what I'm saying? Like you bring, like I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
I've literally been in relationships, and it's like, oh, you got a new car now, so you're acting funny, and I'm just being the same
Being
person.
you.
But you see that,
Yeah.
you try to see me in a different light, and that just didn't make the relationship go any further than it should.
I think it starts with your morals and
That
just who
wasn't a
you
good
are
partnership.
as a
Right.
person. You know?
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That also reveals the people around you, even
Right.
though it also reveals people themselves.
Right.
It also reveals who your real people are around
Yeah.
you, friends and relationships.
Yeah.
And Thea, I don't think you got a chance to answer.
About building?
Yes. Did you get a chance? I'm not
No,
What's
she
the
didn't get a chance to
question
answer
No.
that.
Okay.
What do you think about
Oh, you asked it.
building with
About
somebody?
Yeah.
No, she asked about building with somebody.
Yeah, it depends on where you are in your building. Because, you know, like she said, she's been building for 10 years and she's finally got to a place where she's comfortable, and I feel the same way. I've been constantly building, and, you know, it depends because someone has to, you know, I'm 33. So if someone is like 21 building, that's a different type of building.
Totally.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, so
Totally.
like I feel like I would prefer it if you're either on the same level or surpassed me.
But what if
To
you meet
bring
a
me
man
up.
that's 33 and he's building like a 21-year-old?
No.
You see, because that happens. No, straight up. That happens.
Of course, it happens.
No,
all the
it does
time.
happen. It does happen.
Because a lot of times, speaking from a guy's perspective, a lot of times we don't figure it out until later. We have to make certain mistakes before we figure it out. That's what happens.
like older men.
And then I know some 22-year-olds that all they can think about are numbers.
Yeah.
You know, I think it has to do with the upbringing and the drive that you have in you. Because I know some all they do is sit in my chair and talk about money.
And
I'm like,
maturity. That's also maturity too.
maturity.
Right.
And they just love numbers. And I'm
Yeah.
like, where were you?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Where were you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it,
Right.
it
This episode of the Student to Life podcast is sponsored by Vintage Florists and Events. For the Valentine's Day flowers, for your Mother's Day flowers, for your Christmas, your anniversary, whatever you need these flowers for, these teddy bears, whatever arrangements, you could hit up Vintage Florists and Events.
Yes.
The number to call to make orders, place orders, or for more info is 754-423-4673. So I'll move on to the next one where we talk about some of the delusional and misconceptions. Some of the delusional stuff that people look for when they're dating. Some of the things that you look for that just don't make sense. What are some of those things you guys think that you could erase those off the list? Those could go.
now or
Now,
I'm talking overall, not just for you.
Overall.
I'm just talking in general.
In general.
What do you think some standards that people look for while dating that just don't make sense? You could just get rid of those.
Anybody, man or woman?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Cynthia. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I think any standard that doesn't have anything to do with character is delusional. Well, not any standard, but like if all your standards have nothing to do with character, it's delusional. You're delusional, and you're gonna find yourself in the same space over and over and over again, no matter which man you choose or which woman you choose.
That is a good answer.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if you lead with character, or if you look for a certain characteristic, you might find the best man for you or woman.
I feel like social media is setting a standard that is very unrealistic. Because for me, just recently broke up literally today. Okay, so I'm just recently single, right? So I remember talking to my ex-man, and we would talk about pretty much how he would, let's say when he was dating in the dating world, he'll meet a girl and he'll walk up to her and he'll say, hey, can I get you a drink? And she'll be with 10 friends and he'll be like, well, yeah, if you buy all my 10 friends a drink, I think that's unrealistic.
That's delusional.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you're with your 2 girls or your 1 girl, he can do it as a courtesy without you actually telling him to. Let him do it because it shows his character anyway. Let him do it without asking. And women are like that. They want bottles. They want this. They want that. They just are like living this social media lifestyle, like with ballers and stuff like that. And they expect you to just meet them and take them to the fanciest restaurant. No one wants to go on a coffee date no more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just very delusional, very just, it's not realistic. And I think it's messing up the opportunity to really bond with a partner because they're focused on those superficial things. So that's my perception.
I like that.
Yeah. Delusional for me, personally, was a street man. And I wanted to make him a husband. You understand?
Yeah.
Like I felt like that street man could give me everything I wanted in a husband.
Right.
That was my delusional moment.
So that was you.
Yeah, that was me.
Okay.
That was me. So
You learned your lesson.
And it's a learning experience. It's a learning experience. Because you're young, and what does that tell you? Isn't that what all our music that we grew up with give us? The
Like
vibe
bad
of
man.
like bad man. You understand? Like and it causes you to go down that road and learn.
Oh boy.
I think it's just to chime in real quick because I want to give y'all the floor mostly, but I always talk about spending time with someone and doing life with someone is 2 different things. And to me, a delusional dating standard is fall in love with someone that you've just been spending time with.
All right.
And a lot of people do that.
Yes.
that's
With
a good
no
one,
talk
too.
about
With no
commitment.
talk about commitment, with no
Situation.
being with each other every single day in the household, learning them, doing life. Something happens to you, they're by your side, and people fall in love off of just, we went on 3 dates and had the best sex, and I love him, so, or I love her, or whatever.
That's why the dating pool is
Has gone
messed
through
up.
that,
Yes.
honestly.
Yes.
On the other side of what she said is it's more like you have this high expectation, like you want all these things from one person, like especially when it comes to finances.
Yeah.
You want that's your main goal, to get somebody that's rich instead of the character.
Yeah.
So now you're looking for the flashy this, the flashy that, and I've seen so many females get tricked. Where a man will pose up in front of a Benz like it's his, and he'll get all these girls thinking that that's his stuff, not looking at the character of who the actual person is. So social media amplifies that a lot,
Right.
where everybody look like they have it instead of actually, having anything.
Yeah, social media.
I love it though.
You love what?
Because I love social media because I know how to maneuver it.
I mean,
yeah.
A lot of
I use
people
it to
just
make
don't know
money.
how
Yeah.
to. Right.
that's our world now.
I use it to make money. You use it to make
Yeah,
money.
we all
but
do.
there's
Yeah.
that superficial side,
Right.
where it's just disgusting.
I don't
People-
feed into that one.
People weaponize everything, and that's
Yeah.
just how you got to look at it.
Yeah.
TikTok
Yeah.
was for kids.
Yeah, it's
don't
not.
stick it over.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So to piggyback with the delusional dating standards, how would you guys describe the dating market today? Just 2023 dating market. What is
Delusional.
Personally, I don't even know how to answer that. I have not made myself available, and I have not.
That's very important. That's a very important way to look at it.
I have not made myself available to know. I did at once. Okay, I'll share another personal. So I was dating. I tried online dating.
Right.
And I met 2 men. I would say the second one was a rebound.
Okay.
But I'll tell you a little bit about the men. The first guy wanted, long story short, great dates, this, that, it was great. But then he wanted to adopt my children. And I thought to myself,
That was a red flag for you.
I said, do you know who my kid's father is? And then he would say things like, I want to erase that nigga out of their life.
So you basically wanted to get rid of the
father.
Okay.
Because and the reason behind it was, I see you doing everything. Well, you of course you're not going to see the kid's father because he don't want to see you, you know. But my kid's father
It's not safe for him.
No, he's a good father. You know, he's in their life, but he didn't see that. But he wanted to erase anything out of his life. Da, 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 da. So I let that one go, right? I was just
For
like,
that specific reason.
Yeah, I was like, that's just not for me. And then if you want to take the kids away from their father, that means you would take them from me.
Right.
Second one,
That means you're delusional.
yeah.
delusional.
It could be that he wants to just help in every way he can.
I
It
did
could
not
be.
have
Like that.
So for some reason, and with me doing my research and podcasting and speaking with men and being on certain podcasts, I ain't gonna shout y'all out because y'all be doing so much. But for some reason, men are territorial, and for him to say that is next level. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's something different.
Yeah.
And they feel as if that they don't get the full experience of the woman if they don't have control over her children, and that is wild.
That's another story that we go into. But
Yeah.
let's hear about the next man, because I'm waiting to hear the story.
The next online dating, I was just like, cha. And I went back on the app and I was like, let me just, because that's how we date now.
Yeah.
Next man say he does trading.
He trades.
He trades. It was about 30 days. It was about 30 days we were talking, right? 30 days. Me not see him open up a laptop not one time.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe trades on his phone.
Anyways.
He's so optimistic.
Anyways.
It's crazy.
I'm just messing around.
Long story short, we're having a little intimate setting, on a date, and he's like, I said to him, what is your purpose in life? What are your goals? Like, I started asking, some serious questions.
Like you should ask at the first date, yeah.
He said, my purpose in life is to be a stay-home father.
Okay.
Good man.
The man has no kids.
Right.
He wants to be a stay-home father. So I said, stay home and do what?
Wow, that's your mama.
If you ask me, he made an assessment. He made an assessment. He
my
realized
God.
that he had a
But-
woman that was holding it down.
Now, what
He was
happened
like-
is you asked that question too late.
No, I asked.
No, there were 30 days.
I said,
Yeah, that's
stay
a lie.
home.
That's a lie.
No,
I
listen
want to know
now.
that the first or the second date.
I said, stay home and do what? And he elaborated. He said, cook, wash, clean, take care of the kids, pick up, do
Yeah.
homework, da, da, da. So I said, you come to my house, you see any dirty dishes in my sink? You see any dirty clothes? I don't need help with that.
Yeah.
Since then, I have not made myself available.
So it's so funny that you said that because we spoke about that on last
Yeah.
week's episode.
The stay-at-home husbands.
And men are really on that lifestyle. Like, it's
Not
a
really.
thing.
I
And well, here's my thing. The reason why I don't agree with it is because I told them I use the feminine and masculine thing. And I said that for me, if I know I'm out here working and I'm doing my thing and I know I could easily just hire somebody to clean my home and take care of home. I know that I will operate more in my masculine energy because I will feel as if you're not
You'd lose
thinking as hard as
respect.
me. You're not. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just something about me working and you're not working.
Right.
That just makes me just
Agreed.
yeah.
I do know, I have a client, a few actually, that they are the breadwinner, and they're okay with it because the man stays home and does everything, and when she comes home, she doesn't have to do anything, and he loves on her, and it sounds great,
Right.
coming from her,
Right.
But
But the thing is, like, to be honest with you, if anybody's happy doing that,
she's happy.
by all means.
That's the difference.
I can't be the guy that sits still. I cannot be.
Yeah.
She knows I do 100 things.
Yeah.
I can't sit still, so I couldn't be that guy. But I get it. If you're happy doing that, by all means.
Yes, we're not knocking anyone that does it, guys. Just saying
Yeah.
that it's just that's not our flavor.
But while that's the case, if you have a man that's a breadwinner, like he brings money in the house, if there isn't a specific house cleaner or something, you can wash some dishes.
Yeah.
No.
every so
When
often.
I said that, there's
So
no
I'm not
gender
trying
roles.
to say,
No.
yeah, because I know some men feel like if they bring the money in, they don't have to do anything. They just come, strip down, whatever they drop, you pick
Yeah.
it up.
That is true.
And that's a hard
Oh,
thing,
yeah, no,
especially
yeah.
if you're also working.
Right.
But
right.
even if you're not also working, if you're home all day with the kids, it's still sometimes
It's a
a
job.
full day.
Yeah.
It is.
You know what I mean? So we don't want to set the expectation that
Right.
just because we don't want to stay at home dad, that we don't want you to participate.
And I don't want to
in
be a
what's happening
stay-home
home.
wife.
Mom either. I don't want to do
I
that.
don't.
Yeah.
When I had my children, I had 2 cesareans, 2 C-sections. Those are major surgeries. I was back at work in a week.
Yeah.
A week. I could not stay home.
Hairstylists are.
You know,
we
I was
just-
back at work. I was like,
You love what you do.
Hairstylists
I had to go. I had to go.
Well, answer the question for us. What do you think about the dating pool today?
I can't really tell you right now because I just came out of one.
Okay.
Okay.
But prior to that, I wasn't really actively dating.
Okay.
And I'm one of those people that I'm kind of very content being alone,
Okay.
but I'm also happy being with someone.
Okay.
So I have like a healthy balance as it relates to that. So for me, I was just like, but I will say that I had some bad experiences prior to, and it kind of makes me feel more comfortable being alone. So it's, it's,
What about you, Anthea?
yeah.
I think dating today is both fun and frustrating. I guess it depends on you, the individual, and what your goals are for yourself, for your future, and everything. But I would say the surprising thing since coming out of my last long-term relationship that I've discovered is men aren't really jumping to take you on a date no more. And I don't understand. I don't understand. It's weird. It's
They're
very weird.
So,
Like,
okay, go ahead. I'll let you finish.
yeah, they'll. And I'm not wasting time with these people. It's not going over 30 days or nothing. It'll be like 1 or 2 weeks. If you don't ask me on a date, then what are we doing?
I agree with you.
Yeah.
You hire slow and you fire quickly. That's how you got to live your life. And that's even in business world. That's how you operate.
That's it.
I have a quick question for Stretch.
And
For
you
me.
got to explain for us
Yeah.
why men are doing that. Because
Yeah.
That's the question you was asking?
My question was, when or if you are in a relationship now, or when you are, do you plan dates?
Of course.
You plan date nights?
Yeah, of course. But I think a lot of people are operating in the old way of dating. We're in a whole new society and day and age. I think the traditional going to dinner and movies is, to me, that's outdated. You're not going to meet the real person going on a date like that. We
No.
talked about it on the previous podcast where you got to go on dates where the person is going to actually be themselves and they have no choice but to be themselves. You go do something fun. You go do something that's intimate. Like, you don't have to be a dinner where you sit down and just be all suit and tie. And
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
for example,
for example, you go on a date, you sit down with me, you're meeting my secretary like we talked about. You're not really meeting me. The real person, real me is not going to come out until I actually know, like I get comfortable around you.
Okay.
Until the comfort level reaches, you're not going to see the real person most of the time. You get what I'm saying?
You go
Now we go out go-karting,
Yeah.
or horseback riding. You're gonna, you have no choice but to. You're gonna make a mistake somewhere for me to know that this is a red flag. You get what I'm saying?
The horse is chasing him. Is he gonna run? or
You
is he
go
gonna
out
stand
and
up?
you see a roach and he runs, leave you. You know that guy is not a protector. Like stuff like that you look at. But the dating pool now, like I said, you just gotta have a list. That's number one. You have to have a list. Number two, you have to know exactly what you're looking for. You got to know how to pick up on red flags. Because the thing is, I'm not going to say most women make the mistake of looking past red flags.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So you date the person and be like, you latch on to one thing. You latch on to how he looks or how he smells or how tall
Or
he
the
is.
potential of where we could end up.
Not even. You just latch on to that one thing because now you like that one thing. So everything else you're looking past because you latch on to how tall he is or how many women want him because now you have him. The ego is saying all these things. Trust me, it's a thing.
It is a
It's
thing.
a thing.
I get that. It's
Right.
not a thing for me. Like,
Yeah, not maybe
how
for you,
many
but it's a
but
thing where women might say, I have him now and nobody else does. That ego would say, I'm not letting him go for him to go be with somebody
For that
else.
reason.
That's
Yeah, it happens. So
That is
a lot of women latch on to
lot
that
of character
one thing
flaws.
that they pick up on and they don't let that go no matter the other red flags. Oh, he box you one time and it's like, I'm gonna look past that because he gonna get better.
No, that's crazy.
Some women do that.
I'm trying to tell you, that's what the dating
Some
pool is
women do
now.
that.
And then
But how do men receive that though? Because you have to think that woman is not in her right state of mind. Like you can't really feel like you can make a real life with somebody.
sometimes it's
not a whole
like this is the biggest problem we have now.
if I box you?
That's over with.
Are you staying with me?
The hell no. But
And that's the caveat because what we tolerate, men don't
no, hell
tolerate.
no. But I think the biggest problem we have now is a lot of people are not working on themselves personally before going into any
That's important.
situation. There's no self work. So you come damaged and you damage me, then I damage the next person, and it's a chain reaction. And now everybody's damaged and nobody's healed. So
Yeah, that is not a thing. For
That's
us.
for the people who are not working on themselves, though.
Yeah.
yeah, but plenty of people are because we're so distracted and so busy nowadays. We have no time.
Not
for that.
even that, because they want something. They want
what
that.
they want.
And they focus
don't
on that
focus
only.
on what needs to be fixed and repaired so that you can be that person.
And everybody's damaged.
That's what I'm saying. You have no time because you're on social media. You're doing this. You're doing that. And you realize that a lot of people sitting still in the pandemic made you realize that a lot of people can't sit still.
Yeah.
So you sit still for a little bit and you start going crazy because
Yeah.
nobody has the time to sit still and figure out their shit no more.
Yeah.
Divorces went through the roof during.
That's what I'm saying. So
Now
now,
you in a closed space with this person
have to deal
that
with the
you
person that
actually
you
hate.
really-
that's why I told you a lot of people hate their kids too.
run off to
That's why
work.
that's what I figured out. That a lot of people don't like their kids. It's for real. A lot of people don't like their kids, and that's real.
But that's
They
their
couldn't wait to
fault
get their
because
kids
they
back to
weren't
school.
present in a sense. They weren't present, so they weren't able to groom their
To
kids
really-
to be
yes,
the
that's
people
true.
that they would actually love.
Yeah.
And now that you have to deal with
I
them,
wouldn't
you're
say
like, oh God, I
hate, though.
have a-
Hate is a very strong
Hey,
word.
a lot of people couldn't wait to get
But
their
they
kids
didn't
back
know
to
their
school,
kids
but-
the way they thought they knew their kids.
Kids are a lot, so that might be
During the pandemic, my daughter was on her computer for school. Turn off the camera, I sleep. And I was arguing with the teacher. I said, this is not my job.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
She needs to get back to school.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But I love them dearly.
Yeah. All right, guys.
But
so-
did I answer your question though, Miss?
Yeah, you said you plan dates.
Of course.
Most.
Dates are not hard to plan if you really think
It's
about
really
it.
not.
If he cares, he'll plan a date.
I think
Yeah.
it shows leadership in a man too when he does
Yeah.
that. I
Yeah.
love that.
For me, a lot of times,
Tell
I
me
just-
what to do.
Yeah.
I really
healthy
focused
way.
on my
I'll just
business.
show up.
So,
Yeah.
so focused on my business, sometimes I really don't care much for it, to be
Yeah.
honest.
For what?
That's
Too much
okay.
for it.
I think it's because you haven't met that girl that just has you like,
Like she said, I'm not in that space where if it's even there, I probably won't be able to recognize it.
Okay. That's fair. He said it.
deep.
how old are you?
31.
So if she's in front of you, you won't recognize her.
I probably won't. That's
If
what
he's
I'm
not in
saying.
that space,
And
no.
you know,
And
if you're
Steve
not in that
probably talked
space,
about that.
that's the thing. If you're not in that space, in that space of wanting to be in that situation, if the right person comes right in front of you, you're not gonna recognize
You're not
that.
going to recognize.
Interesting.
And you can force that person all you want to see that, and you're not gonna get the best of them because they're not.
And I read that book from Steve Harvey. He said it.
See,
He said it.
you know exactly where that came
Yeah,
from.
he knows.
That's why that "what do you want" question is very important.
Yes.
You know. So.
Ask that question real early.
Yeah, he can't take
Yeah.
care of you if he can't take care of himself.
Right.
Yeah, can't.
So what are since we're talking about this dating industry, what are 3 red flags that really like you're just like, yeah, no. This. And I know you spoke
I
about
want to put it at 5
earlier.
though. I really want to put it at 5.
Don't give him 5. You got You spoke
5.
about
Yeah, 5 red flags.
hygiene earlier, so I know hygiene is one of them for you.
Hygiene is definitely one.
Would you like to share that story?
I want to hear that story. She brought it up before we even started. I want to hear that story.
Okay. So I dated in my younger years this guy. This is when I actually moved out of mommy's house on my own, thinking I'm a woman and I take care of man. Well, he was taking care of me,
Right.
both, but
Vice
I'm
versa.
gonna be a wife,
Woman.
right?
Right.
A woman. We start doing laundry. Jesus.
Wife works, okay.
One time I thought it was maybe a mistake. One time. I thought it was a mistake. Tire mark. One time. Okay, I'm like, all right.
What? Wait, you mean like, okay, never mind. I don't want to know.
Unacceptable.
Never mind. I don't want to know.
That was a
I know, but I don't want to
that
know.
was a light. That was a light load.
My youth now washing himself.
Load get heavy, no.
Another one. Same thing.
Oh no.
No, unacceptable.
I said, I'm not washing his shit in my washing machine.
Literally.
But guess what?
Right.
But guess what? I didn't know how to tell him. But you see, the God I serve, I didn't know how to tell him. I was talking to my boss about it. My boss at the time was a male. I worked for this law firm, and I was stressed out. And he was like, "What's going on?" And I told him, but for some reason, the phone called him. I didn't hear the one conversation.
Oh my God, why does this happen to you all the time? Like,
The one conversation.
stuff that happens to her on a regular.
Oh my goodness.
I think she's cursed.
Okay.
I think she's cursed.
Yo, so what happened after that? That was what. No, listen.
When I realized that he was on the phone for like 20 minutes.
No, why you hang up at that point?
What you gonna say?
Then he called me back right away.
Oh my God.
We need to talk. I said, about what? My hygiene.
He needs that. He needed that. He needed that.
Of course.
Because he was
He
about
changed his whole life from there.
Yeah.
So what happened from
I
there?
was traumatized. After that, it just didn't work.
Our king had to go.
It just didn't work.
So it was just the underwear?
It was the underwear. It's like in get up and just put on in pants.
Oh man.
Okay, wait a minute.
And I'm like, you don't feel it, don't itch.
Oh man. It's now tax season. And this tax season, the best place to get your taxes done is at Spectrum Tax Group. We specialize in doing taxes anywhere in the US. It's very convenient. You can do your taxes just from your mobile phone with your mobile app. You can log on to our Instagram at Spectrum Tax Group. That's SPECTRUMTAXGROUP. That's Spectrum Tax Group on Instagram. You can log on to our website at spectrumtaxgroup.net. All right? So if it's this tax season, you need a good, reliable tax person, hit us up over at Spectrum Tax Group. We'll take good care of you, all right?
What I want to know is, how was his hygiene outside of his underwear? Outside of that,
Yeah,
just him as a person,
he looked
just walking
presentable.
around.
He looked presentable. Then I went to his mother's house. One day we're like, let's go by my mom, and we were hanging out, but she was a hoarder.
Oh.
She was a hoarder. And then I needed to use the bathroom. I needed to use the bathroom. And he said, all right, I'm gonna, like, he went out to, I guess, check to see if the bathroom was okay. And then he came back in, he's like, okay, you can use the bathroom, but put shoes on.
Hold on a second.
I can't handle it.
I said, take me to Publix. Take me to Publix. No, I don't want to use no bathroom. I need to go to Publix.
Oh my God.
All right, so you named one red flag.
So tell us the next two.
The next two.
As much as you could come up with at this point.
Damn, I forgot. Red
one took
flag.
the- that one
yeah,
took the-
Yeah, that
so
one, yeah.
hygiene and I forgot, honestly. I had it there, but
Okay.
you guys
T?
come back to me.
We'll go back to you. Let's go to T real quick.
Red flags. If you get angry quickly,
Oh,
can't have a conversation,
Easily.
just easily angered, high strung, 0 to 100 like this.
calling it passionate.
Red flag. Yeah, I can't do that, because I'll talk to you and I'll listen to what you got to say. And if you are still like, I can't do it. So that's a red flag for me. Another red flag for me too is someone that you talk to them about this and they take you around the world.
Amen.
That's a huge red flag because that's someone that never wants to deal with
Resolve.
the issue, what's going on, and come to a conclusion. Right? Third red flag for me is men with kids.
Oh, wow.
I know that sounds crazy. I know it sounds very harsh, but men with especially young kids, I can't deal with it. It's like the baby mama drama, them still sleeping with the baby mom, or emotionally attached to the baby mom, and not setting the right boundaries and establishing healthy relationships all the way around. Because I want you to have a healthy relationship with your baby mom, with me, and I want you to create and it's not always easy because people always say, oh, it's easier said than done. But I feel like there needs to be some sense of responsibility taken in those circumstances. And a big turnoff for me is when you can't be a man and handle your shit.
I have a question. Do you have children?
No.
Okay. So for me, it's so funny because I'm the opposite, right?
My best friend is the opposite too.
Yeah, I cannot. It's very. Let me not say I cannot, but for me to date a man without kids is very rough for me, because I look at how you are as a father, as a protector, as a provider for your children. Because when I'm ready to have kids, I have a child. When I'm ready to have more children, I need to know how you handle that pressure. Because I don't know if y'all watched the show Sex Life.
No, not yet.
Not yet. You gotta watch it. But one of the issues on there was the girl was dating a guy without kids, and they got so connected that she was saying, you only know me as this, but you don't know me as a mommy. You don't know my mommy life, And they couldn't make it because he didn't know how to handle her children, and his lifestyle was totally different.
That's important.
Yeah. So,
But what's interesting about men with kids is that they seek out women like myself with no kids. You get what I'm saying? Because they don't want to deal with that.
They want to go
Which
through that again.
I don't particularly agree with that. I think that if you have kids, you should be with somebody else that has equal amount of kids, if anything. Maybe not a plethora of kids, but equal amounts, I think is fair. Because then you understand when that other partner has to deal with family life as far as it relates to that kid, and you understand when it's time to come together. You get what I'm saying? But aside from that, I feel like it's this incredible amount of turmoil that goes down because they, for whatever reason, most men with a baby mom, they keep that emotional contact in place for security reasons because they want to be able to go back there if they have to.
I think it depends on.
yeah.
In many cases.
I think it depends on the span
Yeah.
of how long they've been separate. If it's
Right.
I agree. If it's young kids, this is why I said men with young kids.
So you could deal with it when
My
they have older
ex, or
kids.
just now ex, his daughter is 18. We have no issues.
Yeah.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Because she's
Okay.
already to that age. Previous to that, his daughter, when we were dating, was 3, and it was chaos. You
So-
get what I'm saying?
I've been in a situation where I'm kind of in now where it's a guy that he has his youngest is 6, but he had a whole relationship prior outside of the
6-year-old.
6 years moms.
Yeah.
And that was good for me because I was like, okay, so you've already got past that hurdle.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was like 2-year relationship that he had with this person. So I was like, okay, well that works. So I guess it's a setup of how they maneuver and set it
Yeah.
up. Because
Yeah.
some of them they're really ratchet or reckless with it.
Oh, I don't even have time to tell you stories.
Yeah.
There's no time for it. It's chaotic.
Yeah.
It's
I
chaotic.
can get when it's
And I would recommend that any young woman, any woman that's under the age of 35 should be very wary of dating a man with kids. And I know it sounds crazy because most men nowadays have
Have
at
a
least
child.
one baby mama somewhere. But until he's someone that's mature enough to say, hey, regardless of that baby mom wanting to meet you or whatever, I'm going to make a connection so she's aware of you or
That
whatever.
comes with maturity.
It's maturity.
and
you know?
that's if they don't have kids, the woman. because if I'm 30 and I have a child,
Mm-hmm.
so you know when a guy is dating me, they want to know like, well, where's your baby daddy? Your daughter's 6. Is he
Yeah.
in your life? They kind of on the same level that you're on, like trying to figure out how is that situation.
and that's how I was. I'm like,
Yeah.
where is she? Can I meet her? I mean, I just feel like if I'm going to be around
Your daughter.
her daughter,
Yeah.
Right.
it's only respectful for me to meet her, whether or not she's
When they
she's
run away
in her
from
mood
that,
or whatever.
right.
She still needs to know
Who is
I
around?
am,
I agree
regardless.
110%.
And if I have to fight you on that,
That is a red
that's
flag.
An immediate red flag.
I love that.
I
Y'all hear
remember
that?
what my last two are.
Okay.
A mean man.
Oh yeah. Okay.
You cannot be mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
A mean man.
What else? What's another one?
I forgot.
The mean one does show y'all.
Me and man just shake her up. Yeah.
Hold on, before you go any further, so let's just go like a little bit over time and let's split the episode in two because I'm not going to be here next week. So let's split this episode in two and let's post the other
Oh,
episode.
I get a break next week?
Yeah.
We have to see if we split it in two.
What?
We'll have to see if we're gonna split it in two, depending on how much time.
Yeah, so I'm saying go a little bit over time so we can split it in two.
Okay.
If we can naturally get there. Okay.
All right, ready? Countdown. 3, 2, red flags.
Red flags. So I definitely feel you on the quick to anger, because that's definitely a red flag. Arguing with me, or engaging in arguments with me.
That's anger issues.
It
Yeah.
is.
If you say A, he gotta say B.
Yes, that.
But
Because
do you
sometimes
feel
it
like
doesn't.
it's a conversation though, or do you feel like it's a straight up argument?
I don't care what it is. Don't argue with me. Like many times it's disguised as a conversation, but it's really argument. Like sometimes I'll be like, "What are we talking about here?" Like if I bring a problem to you, I expect you to solve it, or help me solve it, or if you can't solve it, explain to me. Let's have a conversation about it. But don't go back and forth with me about this issue, and then all of a sudden it turns into now it's my problem, not my problem,
Or your
but
fault.
I'm the problem.
You initiated it. Yeah,
Right.
okay, I get what you're saying.
And then
Okay.
Gotta be
you're
good at
just-
conflict resolution.
It's weird. It's weird. So
That's
that's
one.
definitely one. And that's a huge one. Probably just not taking the lead. And that can be sussed out in like the first week or two. But not taking the lead on anything. Not planning a date,
Not taking initiative at all.
initiative.
Yeah.
Any initiative at all. Or not taking and also not trying to get to know me. Like if I meet somebody, I wanna have conversations with them, I wanna get to know them, I wanna ask questions, but I also expect you to ask questions about me and to get to know me as well. And if you don't do that, then it's like, okay, there's nothing here.
I remember the third one. There's a difference between privacy and secrecy.
I forgot about that.
Red flag.
We actually discussed that.
Yeah, but
That's a huge red
remember,
flag.
remember, that's your red flag, so
Here
I
we
can't
go.
debate you on that. But what she said about arguments, what I've learned is that arguments sometimes can be healthy for a relationship. That's what I've learned. Depending on the argument, the shouting back and forth, that's different. That's
Yeah.
a shouting match.
That's abuse.
That's different.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But an argument sometimes is healthy for a relationship. That's
Healthy
what I've
disagreements.
learned. Healthy
Yeah.
disagreements,
Yeah.
right? And it don't have
Okay.
to be all highly emotional because you have an opinion, I have an opinion. We do it with our friends all the time.
A debate.
You're right.
Yeah, we do it with our friends.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then you have to learn to be able to come to a resolution, because that one argument, if it has no resolution, then that goes on for days and there's no
It piles on to the next argument.
exactly, and then it becomes so much stuff that's not resolved.
Yeah.
But if you know how to come to a resolve, like in any relationship that you're going to have that's going to be long term, you have to learn how to argue and come to either agree to disagree, or somebody's going to say, all right, you're right and I'm wrong.
Choose your battles.
Exactly. And as a man, we learn to do that the most, because it's like we say you guys are always right to just get it over with. But a lot of times that's not good either.
No.
Because I feel a certain way about something, but just to keep the peace, because I used to do that a lot. I don't want to argue about it. If it's going to cause a bigger problem, just, all right, you're right. Just get it
Okay.
over with. And then it builds up to something
Which
bigger
is
than
not
that.
good. I
Right.
agree.
I want an example.
So, just to piggyback off of last week's episodes, okay? When Stretch mentioned that, you know, in his situation, he lives, you guys live together, your parents, right?
Yes.
In Stretch's words, they live together, right? With his brother and his parents. Now, if you was to meet a guy in Stretch's situation, will that be a red flag for you guys?
Why you got to input me in the whole question?
It was last week's conversation, so I want to see how these ladies feel, because we were talking to the men.
Now she's gonna think about it
But you're
differently because
young,
I'm
though.
there.
You're 31, so I think, I don't know, you go.
Okay. Being at home doesn't necessarily mean you're worthless. As a mother, even though you tell me all the time, don't shelter them too much, you know? But I still want home to be home for my children, no matter what. No matter what they have going on in their life. So being at home doesn't necessarily mean they're not worthy of dating me, you know? So it depends on the situation. It's a case-by-case situation. He could be at home because his parents are like, don't leave until you're ready to buy a house. You know, I don't want you to go out and rent, you know? And he may be building towards that, you know? And that may be a thing too, where suppose it's a case where he's at home and his parents are like, if you find a woman, I'm paying for the wedding. You know what I mean? Until you could go out and be your man. That's definitely not it.
The situation she asked about, I'm not even in that whole situation, but I'll explain it to you guys. We'll go ahead.
But you don't want to knock everybody because, he's at home with his mama.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I could, the long-term relationship that I was in with my kid's father, if I had the opportunity to go home, I would have went home. But that doesn't make me less or not worthy enough of dating. You know, so I guess it just depends. It's case by case.
Okay.
But I need to be able to bust it wide open somewhere. It can't always be at my house.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, take me on a date or a hotel or a fancy something, you know?
The hotel becomes a routine. And it's like, you know.
But
for me, it's like, how old is he? He's still living at home. That's a concern for me.
Okay.
And is he living with them or they're living with him?
Yeah.
Also another question.
Yeah.
Right? And what's the plan?
Right.
Where is he going? You know, how long do you plan to be in the situation? You know, it's all about figuring out where that person stands. But initially, right off the bat, without asking questions, it's a no for me. But because I've been on my own for a long time, and maybe that's where my bias comes from. I've been on my own since I was probably 18, right? So I had to learn to be an adult. And if I meet a man who's supposed to be my leader, I'm supposed to follow behind him, I'm supposed to follow his lead, but he's at home with mommy and daddy, it's hard for me unless there is a real rigorous plan in place, and it just makes sense. You know what I mean? But it's not, I don't know, it's very, I think it's complicated. It depends on the circumstances.
It depends.
Yeah.
It definitely depends. But off the bat, I mean, just saying it how you said it, I'd probably say no.
Yeah.
It just
How I said it?
Yeah.
Well, maybe I ain't say it right. Maybe Stretch could.
No, that's what I'm saying. My situation is not the same as you just explained to them, because I told you last week, 4 of us came here with nothing. You get what I'm saying? We went from living in a situation where that was like, we were sharing rooms, sharing beds, stuff like that. From that to having our own space, to then to buying a house. We did this shit together. This wasn't the case where I'm just living with them and not paying no bills. This is not, that's not that. You get what I'm saying? And then if it was a case where my parents had it and I was living with them, then that would be a different story. Because if I wasn't paying no bills, I would be balling right now. Are you kidding me? Living with them, not paying no bills? That would be something different.
But it's always been you guys.
It's always been.
And that's
the reason why I asked
that's understandable.
But that's what I'm saying. It's not the same situation like she explained.
Right.
Some men are in the situation that she talks about.
I know that. I've seen men in that situation and comfortable there. But I'm not, like, that's different. If my my
men or
parents,
women?
if I had the money now to let them retire and go on where they want to go and live on my own, I would have been did that. That's the goal.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? I'm not going to stay there forever, but at the
Right.
same time, I know the situation we're in now.
Right. The reason I asked is because you said you met someone that was a problem for them.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, like you said, the way you explained it just now is the way she saw it.
Yeah.
Without asking any questions, and then after that, I didn't bother to explain.
That's why I
It was
say
You
like-
don't need to.
No, I didn't bother to explain. Why would I explain to you if you're frowning at me just by saying that?
Yeah.
You didn't even ask me a question and nothing. We
Yeah.
didn't have a conversation.
Yeah.
So once you frown on somebody,
that, yeah.
and then she had the habit to do that with regular people. Like you don't know a person's story, but you're judging them just by looking at them, and that really just put the icing on the cake for me to just be like, all right, this is not gonna
Like
work.
she just made a decision out of her own way.
Yeah.
Not even made a decision. It's just like if I'm
Stereotypes.
She just judged you.
a red flag for
Yeah.
me, I pay attention to everything.
Yeah.
So if me and you are in a setting and you're judging people without knowing them and talking about people, oh look at what they're wearing or what they
Yeah,
have,
yeah.
that's a turn off for me. And then you're gonna do that with me, that's even worse.
Right.
You
And
get what
you're
I'm
a
saying?
family-orientated man, because you and your family.
But that's the thing. That's the thing. What I'm saying is I pay attention to little stuff like that. My red flags are different. Like if you walk in a room and you don't light up the room and everybody just sad when you walk in, we can't talk. You get what I'm saying?
We
Like
also have to take into consideration that other cultures like Asians and Indians, they do that all the time. They actually build together, and then after they build a couple assets, they start to span off. You know what I mean? And we frown upon that in the black community and look at it as you're mooching.
Yeah.
they literally said that last week on the podcast.
Yeah, they did say that.
Literally said the
Really?
same, the
Yeah, they
exact
did.
same thing. Our culture
The married men.
frowns upon that.
Yeah, and it's sad.
For me, what I always say this: don't ever force nobody to be with you. Like what a lot of people do is, oh, she wants a man with her own place, so now I'm gonna go struggle just to please her.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
And I was just gonna say that because here we should be like the other people in the other community, building.
Yeah.
And here we are struggling to
Right.
try to please whatever it is.
That's all it is. We're trying to make everybody else see us as, oh, I'm independent and I got this and I got that.
But it's not even that we're trying to please sometimes. Like in my case, I just had to do what I had to do.
Yeah, that's different.
It wasn't
That's
really about
different.
pleasing.
Yeah, everybody is
I had to
different.
live somewhere. I had to
Yeah.
survive.
Right.
I needed somewhere to lay my head, eat, rest, good to work
Yeah.
again, so I can keep this lifestyle up.
Right, because some people are not happy being at home, living
Yes.
with
Their
their
parents.
parents.
Yeah.
So I love living with mine because
Yeah.
That's great.
they're the best people to live
That's
with.
like a unique.
I can't say the
that's
same.
I can't
Yeah,
say the same.
that's what I'm saying.
Going home was not an option for me.
Yeah.
Not an option.
Yeah.
Peace-wise.
Zero.
Yeah,
I would
peace.
have been. My mom was that. I saw this comedian. I forget his name, but he had put something out on social media the other day. He sat down on the couch and said, "Get up off of a couch." I posted it. Get up off of a couch. That was my house. You buy a coat,
Oh, you mean
know?
that with the
Yeah.
so-
So I'm just like, ugh, this
Where the special sections, the
I'm traumatized.
plastic covered
Yeah.
couch.
Right.
it's not, it's
Can't
not a
walk on
safe
white
place for
carpet.
my children.
Mm-hmm.
And it is what it is. You have to unlearn those things, you know,
Yeah.
and move on. But if I had that option, I would be home.
Yeah.
I would be home. I'd be like, "Mommy, cook me some bully beef or rice." You know? I'd be home.
that's what I'm saying is like people force that to move out to go say, all right, I have my own, and then you're living in a room with no furniture on a
Yeah.
blow-up bed,
Yeah.
saying that you're independent. You're unhappy.
Yeah,
You're,
very.
you're sleeping with roaches, literally, and telling everybody that you have your own place and you're happy. That don't make no sense to me.
So there's different sides to that because when I first bought my place, I was sleeping on the floor.
But you weren't
my
happy in the previous situation. You wanted to be on your own.
Renting wasn't really a fun thing for me, but I was still somewhat happy because I don't know. I'm always a person that sees the glass half full versus half empty. So
Right.
I'm not really that kind of person to be unhappy. But I do agree with you. There's some people that are pressing to go out there and they're not prepared. They're not set up the right way. And then you have some that are like, okay, I'm gonna sleep on my little mattress on the floor.
Right, and be happy.
And
with
be
it.
okay.
And be happy,
Yeah.
and then build from there.
I
And
did that.
And I did it.
We was doing it living together, and I didn't complain one bit.
Yeah, you know what I'm
That's
saying?
amazing.
That's it. That's what I'm
That's
talking about.
amazing.
Yeah.
They raised
Yeah.
him. They raised you, right?
That's amazing.
Temporary.
Shoot,
It's a
what you
temporary
think?
situation.
Man, listen,
That's amazing.
we was happy together.
And I
It was
teach my
fine.
kids the same
It's
way.
different
Like,
for a
if
man
this is
who's
what we
comfortable
have,
in it.
that's it.
That's it.
You know, that's what it is.
Yeah.
All right. So, Shesh, you want to hit the next one? 'Cause I can do
Yeah,
it.
you better
I can
ask
do
a
it.
question. I'm not
I
asking
can
a
do it.
question.
What question is that? Okay.
I'm not. Yeah,
Okay. So, do you think that we wasn't properly taught the right way to go about love and relationships growing up as kids?
Ooh. Can I go first?
Go ahead.
I think we have not been taught, right?
Okay.
We're all Caribbean, so yeah.
Yeah.
I grew up with my mom and dad, but I knew they weren't in love the entire time. I knew it. But I was accustomed to having them both there until mom migrated here. And I was like, okay, that's fine. And I realized that they just did not get along. The friction, you know, that when you would watch sitcoms and, you know, the child would hear that their parents are divorcing and they'll start bawling. And I'm like, what are you bawling for? This is a great thing.
Yeah.
You know, like, they need to separate. You know what I'm saying? That's how I felt growing up. So for me, my mom was more of a, be careful. No good man out there, be a dregs. You know, that's what my mom preached in my head growing up, right? So I grew up with this fear where I didn't really establish any real relationships until I was in my late 20s, right? Or somewhat early 20s to late 20s, right? And what that does to you is that you move with fear. Instead of, okay, when I meet someone, this is the kind of man I should be looking for, but she don't know no better.
Right.
So she can't tell me nothing about good relationships because she herself was just trying to survive. And she passed that down to me. And so I had to unlearn and then learn in order to get to a point where I can function as a individual first.
That's the slogan of our podcast, by the way, just saying.
Is it really?
Yeah, unlearning.
Yeah, see, you know what I mean? It's like you have to, and that's, I think everybody's doing that right now.
Yeah.
You're unlearning so you can then learn what you really should know.
Yeah.
And I'm still learning.
I'm at that place.
We have these
And it's a good
conversations
place.
all the time because I feel like right now society with dating and meeting someone, the expectations are so false and we just don't know what we should be looking at. And so we're not establishing real healthy relationships. It's a mess.
Let's hear what Anthea has to say about that, because she's kind of quiet over here.
Yeah, I don't think we were, well, from my personal experience, I don't think I was taught how to really choose. I was taught, there were very simple things I was taught. Don't have sex before marriage. All men are the same. And
You raised
what was
both
the other
parents?
one? Up until 12. My parents split when I was 12.
Okay.
And from then, my mom never remarried. She's been single ever since.
Which is common.
Yeah.
And I
And
think
she's been in
that's where I'm
survival
going.
mode, you know? And I've learned how to work hard from her. I've definitely learned how to work hard. I've learned how to survive. I've learned how to make it on my own. I've learned how to be a single mom. I feel like, you know, I never wanted to be a single mom, but if it was anything I knew how to do, I knew how to do that.
Yeah.
Like, just because I was
You've
raised,
seen that,
not just her, not just with her, but with other women. You know, my aunt, you know, other her friends or whatever, other family members or friends of family who helped raise me. It was all, I was surrounded by a lot of strong women. You know, so which I'm grateful for, but at the same time, the knowledge or the
Balance you're
wisdom.
looking for.
The wisdom of how to choose the right man, I feel like was lacking a little bit. I did hear a lot of complaints and not enough, this is how you choose the right man, or this is the man that you need to look for. So how that spilled over into my life is trial and error. Trial and error, coming across people like my father and coming across a bunch of the same personalities until I realized, you know, what is it about me that I need to improve or change or realize, you know, gain more wisdom so that I can choose better and be better.
I'm waiting on you.
Go ahead, Sade.
I've learned, and I'm now unlearning. So I've learned from my father. I know what love feels like.
Highlight again. That's the slogan of our podcast.
I know what love feels like from my father.
Yeah.
Like I know how a man is supposed to treat me and take care of me and cherish me. I know that. But then you have the other side of the family, right? That is in survival mode. Find a man that's going to take care of you. Now who's gonna treat you good? You know, like take care of you. Just find a man who can take care of you.
Financially.
Yeah. Which I did, but he did not take care of me emotionally
Cool.
and
You were
mentally.
starved in that area.
I was starving. I was drowning. But I knew it was wrong
Right.
because Daddy taught me
Right.
how a man is supposed to treat you. But I was in survival mode. So I had to unlearn. I'm 35 on Thursday. I never thought that at 35, that's why I'm having a birthday party, guys, on Thursday. And I'm having the party because I said, never did I ever think at 35 I would be so independent and have the things that I have today without a man. And I had to unlearn that. And I'm now realizing I beat myself up every day for that relationship that I was tormented in. But I'm learning now that I had to go through it. I had to go through it so that way I can be strong, the woman I am today, and unlearn what mommy has taught me, which was that survival mode. You're in survival mode by yourself, not with a man.
I think that the sad case that I always preach this. I really put this in perspective from listening to In the Meantime podcast with Curly Locks from Twin of Twins. He talks about the breakdown of the family, the black family, where society puts that into place to destroy us. Like now we're not in shackles and chains no more. It's a case where everything is systematically put there to destroy us in every way. Like the single mom is highlighted as, you know, the hero. The single father is demonized, and that's how, you know, they pit us together. Now, we have to realize that the family structure is what's going to fix a lot of things. Because I say this all the time, we have a parenting problem in our society. A lot of things, a lot of principles that younger kids nowadays don't have is because of how the home is set up, that there's no parenting anymore. The tablet, the internet, these things are what's raising kids.
Yeah.
And so many kids are in single parent households now that they're not learning certain things as like love and relationships and how mom treats dad and what it's supposed to be. There's only a selected few that upholds that. So that I think the focus should be there. One of the focuses should be there, because being from the Caribbean, you're taught with your peers, a man is supposed to have enough women, and woman they glamorize they glamorize the wicked girl culture nowadays. What the Americans, what they call it, the girls is players too, basically.
City girls.
Yeah, right. City girls, right. That's what's highlighted now
Girls
so
is
much.
players too.
Right.
My daughter plays that song.
See what I'm talking about? So it's like
Girls is
the family structure is not there, and that breaks down so much in our community. It happens in no other community but ours, to be honest with you. Like, it happens rarely in other households. Like, you meet somebody, you just assume that they wasn't raised with both parents. You just assume
I have
that.
something to add to what you just said, and it's interesting because I find that my experience with dating a man with a single mom versus a man with both parents is totally different.
Of course it is. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the way how each
They love differently.
teaches you,
too.
treats you is different.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, a lot of people who was raised with both parents, but they still,
No love.
right, they, like for
No.
me, like
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
for me, to be honest, I know my mom watches, so I'm trying to keep it a little bit. but I didn't see my mom and my dad hug and kiss and show affection growing up.
I didn't experience that
I didn't
either.
see that, but I was raised with them my whole life. You know what I'm saying? I had to learn that on my own. But we realized that they didn't learn that either. How they learned love was not that. You get what I'm saying? So I can't even put it on them like, oh, they didn't teach me, but I learned just from watching them, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Everybody's not going to be able to do that. Maybe my
That's
brothers
true.
or my sisters saw it differently, or was affected differently.
Yeah.
You know, I went out and I found the information that I needed. Everybody's not going to do that.
Thank God you did that.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, we are taking a quick break to let you know about Skyless Hair Studio, located right here in Tamarack, Florida. So if you're in town and if you know anyone that need any hair services, We specialize in healthy hair, hair care, extensions, cuts, colors, and pretty much everything except for braiding. So reach out to us, Skyless Hair Studios, here in Tamarack, Florida.
That horrendous relationship that I talk about from time to time, he also said that too. Like,
Said what?
he wasn't taught to love the way I love, like mushy, good, you know, and take care of
Feels
your
weird.
But he loved, but he loved by making sure I had a roof over my head, whatever car I wanted to drive.
That was taught. That was
You know what I mean?
taught,
That's how he loved, and I had to learn his love language.
Boom.
I had to.
Hit it right on the nail.
For it not to cause so much friction in the relationship, but
You're still sacrificing something.
still was lacking. Yeah, still was lacking.
All right. So you want to take a break and get the quick break. Next question.
Damn, can we get a pee break?
Keep going.
Yeah, you can go
Should
ahead.
have emptied our bladder before we started.
If you want to go, you can go ahead. Go ahead.
Where is it at?
Pull them
All the way to the back, the door on the right.
Phil, you good?
All right.
You enjoy it?
Yeah, so I was saying you can
This
stop
is
and
hers.
restart. Yeah.
Because you're going to go on to the next one, right?
Yeah.
Next question.
Next question. Could you pass me that bottle too, so I can refill my cup? I should have brought the damn
wine?
tequila, man. Shit.
Don't say that.
You
Yeah.
Like everybody speak outside. This is just me.
Okay, go ahead.
Everybody speak of a red flag, but nobody mentioned jealousy. Isn't that one?
All right. So
that's a good one.
with that, you a lot of times you don't pick that up until later.
do? Yeah.
You don't see that red flag till later.
Just because you're not looking.
No, sometimes that's why I said sometimes.
Yeah.
Not all the time.
And then
But the thing, hold on, wait.
Because you've experienced jealousy.
Right. Let me tell you why I said that. Right. Like I said earlier, you meet the secretary a lot of times.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So further down now, you realize that hey, you know, like when they stand up close to certain man in yeah, and then we get jealous and they want to kill you. You get what I'm saying?
Shit, India.
I think we probably also covered that when we said anger, because we did speak about.
That's something different, though. That's something totally different. Trust me. Trust me, that's different.
And then there's this whole interior. So I have more than you. There's a lot that.
That's a whole bunch of. I can name red flags from now till tomorrow. Trust me. Like I know them. My red flags, like I said, is a little bit more complex.
Yeah.
Because I could tell who you are just by having a conversation with you. So that's me. I could feel energy, so I know who you are quickly.
Yeah.
You know, how you walk, how you talk tells a lot about you.
Yeah.
How you talk to your parents, how you talk to your friends.
Yeah.
All of those things says a lot. So a lot of people, sometimes I don't look for the blatant red flags. So something simple as, how do you respond to a certain situation?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So, yeah. Things like that.
But jealousy is a good one.
It's a good one. But sometimes, like I said, it's not blatant jealousy. Sometimes it's not even that. Because you could be walking down the street and somebody else is saying hi to you and he reacts a certain way, but you're thinking he's protecting you, not knowing that that's actual jealousy.
Yeah, or insecurity, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you sometimes, because I love when other men try to talk to my woman. When I have a woman, I love when other men try to talk to my woman, because that means I have something.
Yeah.
So
something they want.
Right. So everybody don't see it that way, but like it's a red flag, but a lot of times you don't pick up on it right away. Anybody else want to use the bathroom? Everybody good? Hey, where you at?
He just went to the bathroom. Did I just turn this off?
Is my mic
It's
still
on.
working? I don't know.
It's on.
And you know, that's side note. That same guy I was telling you guys about who wanted to adopt my kids, he works from home. So one day I was home and I was writing up all my bills and stuff, and he oversaw what I paid myself. And he's like, "Is that what you pay yourself?" But I noticed that after he saw that, things started.
And that's not good. I don't like that. It's so funny. I saw a clip.
That's what you pay yourself?
I saw a clip the other day where a woman was saying that, you know, it's crazy how if a man realizes how much money you make and how much you do, how well you do, all of a sudden they want to retract how much.
Yeah, you're not gonna do as much anymore.
Which makes you see how much of a man he really is. because a man is going to be a man regardless.
The crazy thing is, it's not. It's measured by that a lot nowadays, and that's what the problem is.
I mean, why not?
Right.
Neither.
No.
Right? When you said trading, why we laughed is because you're not trading.
We're actually trainer. No, he's actually
Like a physical trainer, like a physical trainer.
No,
Trade.
You train.
Trade, yeah.
Oh yeah, we're not trusting them.
No, my boy trades. My boy does well.
You just lost $2,000?
I need some lessons. I need to know
It's
how
like
to trade.
gambling to me.
It's very complex.
Yeah, it is. I did it for a year, and it was something.
I started reading up on it. I was like, I can't do this shit.
Yeah.
I'd go
man.
crazy.
Yeah.
I stick to Robinhood and
Just
Yeah, that's it.
that's it.
I did a one of those coins,
Uh-huh.
and
Bitcoin?
I was able to pull out like $7,000.
That's amazing.
Oh yeah,
Out of it.
hit the
Yeah,
jackpot. I had Ethereum and I lost all my money.
Oh
Really?
shit.
And that was a bigger coin.
I'm
than
in
I-
Ethereum.
No. The worst one was Shiba. I
don't
lost
think
all my money.
Ethereum
That's
Go
where I
back
got my
up?
$7,000 from.
You pulled out quick because Shiba was
No,
worth
I didn't.
nothing.
I just pulled out 2,500, almost 3,000. Sorry, to go to South Africa.
Yeah.
That's where I paid for
Or
my trip.
Shiba did me bad.
Wait a minute.
But it depends on when you
Ethereum,
went in.
sir. I haven't looked at my
You probably
stocks
got in
a
late.
while.
That's what.
That's why I
all
stopped looking at it.
It's
That was
a
over.
gamble. You know what I mean?
Ethereum
Like,
is going to be okay though, right?
Ethereum is like regular currency, so it's gonna be fine.
haven't looked
Ethereum
at
and
my stocks.
Bitcoin are gonna be fine.
In 2 years.
actually,
I'm not buying
Bitcoin
no
is
more,
going
though.
up right now.
Yeah, I'm not buying no more.
I'm not buying no more. I'm sorry.
because of the bank crash, SVB.
Yeah,
thing.
I'm waiting that out.
I don't think it's gonna go up too much, but you know.
I got some money there.
Does anybody else need to use the restroom? I'm gonna go. Elsa done.
I don't want to look at it.
Anybody else?
For
No.
me, I just was following people
Let
buying
me look
stocks.
at it.
And that's the thing, you don't really understand what's going on. You're just like, okay,
Ew.
this is the it thing. Let me just try. Shiba was like that for me, or Shiba, because I was like, it's only a few cents. What am I gonna lose?
Yeah.
So I put in $700, and that shit hit 22,000. And I was like, oh. I was like, okay, I'm gonna take out a little $4,000. You know what I mean?
Shit.
I should have taken out more. Maybe I should have.
So
But
took out all of it.
I'm just like, yo, people talking about they hit 150,000. I'm like, I'm gonna let that shit ride. So I let it ride, and then it went down to like $6,000. I was like, damn it.
I was gonna buy the Bitcoin. I was like, I'm not doing this shit. When it was at like, it dropped to like 16,000. I was like, I'm gonna buy a Bitcoin.
That's still fine. You should have bought it.
Like I said, I was gonna buy it.
That was good.
Bought it.
The week after, that shit shot up to like 30. I was like, God
I remember
damn
when
it.
it was $100. $100.
You bought it when it was what?
No, I remember when it was.
Yeah.
Trevon was telling
The
me.
amount of people that cussed me out not to buy that when it was like $100.
Trevon was telling me to buy it.
And I didn't buy it.
Let me never buy
Yeah,
it.
I think that is just really gambling. Really, that's what
It
it really
is.
is.
Stretch. Since you want to make it 2 episodes,
Mm-hmm.
can y'all do 2 different topics and 2 quotes?
Yeah, we can.
Alright. So when y'all come back, do
Mm-hmm.
the topic and do the quote.
What's the topic you guys would want to discuss? Let me ask you guys for the second topic. It's like anything that's going on now, society-wise.
I know. I think the questions you guys already asked is pretty good.
No,
so
but
far.
when I say topics, we mean like for instance, we're gonna talk about the Black China situation where she trying to get rid of her butt shots and stuff like that.
Okay.
So what's another topic that's public like that you guys would want to discuss?
Probably Sierra.
I thought it was already cutting half.
Her dress.
That's a hot topic now.
Oh yeah, I saw that outfit. I don't know if I would let her wear that.
I don't know if I would wear that.
Where it's the
Being married though, single fine. Married, I don't know. I mean, he seems like a guy that was just okay with everything.
He's very easygoing. I think he loves his wife.
And he loves the Lord too.
Did you tell him?
Yeah, that's
he don't love the Lord as much, but okay.
I do have one on my phone. I can't put it on here right now, so I'm gonna do the second one that we was doing the quote.
Quote, yeah, both quotes, yeah.
All right, cool.
What do you
But
mean by
add
quote?
the
What do you
Sierra
mean by
thing to
quote?
it.
What does that mean?
So we do a
comment on it?
quote of the day. The quote of the day is, "It's better to be hated for what you are than to be loved for what you are not." So that's
Okay.
So then we
Talk
just
about it.
real quick on just what we think about it.
Right.
But we're gonna do 2 because we're cutting this episode in half.
because I won't be here next week. So yeah,
Oh, y'all special. Y'all
I get a
special
break.
episode.
Okay.
so I get 2 breaks. Shoot, I leave Thursday, then I come back, then I leave Tuesday.
You playing again?
Nah, I'm just going.
Go
to-
vacation? Oh.
Yeah.
Where are you heading?
I have a party in Cayman this weekend. It's gonna stress me out because it's actually my damn party.
Your dad?
Mine.
Is
Your party, okay.
And then come back and another fly to Vegas after that.
Vegas. What's for just
Oh,
because?
Vegas. Oh, no,
Just
well.
because.
Oh, we're going to Thailand.
Oh, big up on the sales.
They just came from
I'm
Africa.
Thailand money.
Thailand cheap.
No, I know. I just
Thailand cheap.
to travel that far, it has to be like.
Just check up on.
You have to understand. I have to be constantly in the loop of what's going on.
Yeah.
So if I'm traveling like a trip like that, it has to be 2 weeks. I have to have everything situated before I leave.
Yeah. Definitely.
Especially now in the middle of tax season, in the middle of the show coming up, and I can't do that.
Yeah.
I'll go crazy.
But find time. It's
I went to
important
Italy.
find
I went to
time.
Italy like 2 months
January.
How many days?
ago. A week.
Okay.
I told you I can't stay away too long because I have so much to do.
Just 10 days is long.
Italy, it's cold. Cold as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I got Italy after.
That's the thing is they told me not to come back in the winter time. Come back in the summertime.
Yeah, so nice.
Greece is my next big
So
trip.
take me when you go. Make a group chat. And we'll come.
I'll never do that again.
Greece?
A group trip? Somebody else could plan it. I'll be a part of it, but I'm not planning a group trip
Oh
anymore.
yeah, it can get stressful.
Yeah, I'm
You
never
have to
doing
plan
that.
with people who have their money.
Yeah.
Candy people. Not yet.
Them not try pitch, you know?
Real.
The audio was fine,
Send
right?
300 this month.
Yeah.
Send 400 next
You
month.
can hear
We'll get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can hear as
Yeah, I have the. It's because this don't fit in that. I don't know who was it that probably.
Popped it off.
My little
Sure, she do the next one, right?
The question, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Where we at again? Do you believe that entrepreneurship?
Yeah.
Okay.
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 Ready when you guys are, bro.
You want to start? You start? No. Nah, we could just continue. I'll cut this.
I think you should
What
actually.
I'll probably do is like the conversation piece that you had. If it's not too crazy.
Shine, you ask this question.
This one?
This whole masculine and feminine energy is not my thing. It's your thing.
Why?
I just feel like it just
It's
kind of
a big topic right
it
now,
complicates
too.
things. That's why I don't like it. But I understand it. So, Shine, that's you.
After you do the topic, do the quote, and then we're gonna close out this episode, and then we'll start over again.
You want to do it like that? All right.
What you
I
mean?
just feel like it should just
Just listen.
flow.
Once you do the topic and the quote of the week, we're gonna cut in between, basically close out the episode, and then we're gonna go ahead and reset the cameras.
So let's do that
And do the
now.
quote of the day again, and then the.
And then you'll continue the conversation, and then do the quote of the day again.
So let's do it now.
Oh, so you're gonna do the quote of the day and the other one now.
Yeah, so for the first episode, we're gonna cut, let's do the quote of the day, and the topic of discussion for those. And then close out the episode.
So let's do that now then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do one.
Okay.
One right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So do the first one that we have right now.
Ready?
Ready?
All right.
Alright,
I'm sorry, you. I'm sorry.
countdown.
Remember we're doing the
Mic
Switches
check,
Corner
mic
now.
check, mic
Yeah.
check.
Okay. You're introducing it. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Alright, MC, mic checking. Alright.
Mic check. One,
Mic
two.
check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
What is that on? I'm at 1. I think I'm putting this down. Mine's at 1.7. What is this? 0.7. What's that?
This one is lower because the black wall behind stretch, but
Okay.
it's
It's
similar.
good?
Yeah, it's similar in color.
Alright.
Mic check, mic check. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Same.
Yeah, okay. Alright, you queen?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Can you hear me?
well.
All right, let's go.
Alright. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, everyone. So we're about to get into Stretch's Corner, and this weekend we are talking about Black China.
So Black China, back in the day, she used to look like the real ant, like one of them, you know. Yeah. So she did silicone butt shots. So now she's trying to remove those and I don't know if she's going to do BBL. She ain't got enough fat for that, but she was trying to remove that because she said it wasn't healthy and trying to advise people not to do it. So what I think is, I tell everybody from the health season that be careful of doing these things. You get what I'm saying? If you're doing it, make it an option where maybe you have to.
Yeah.
Remember we had the surgeon on and he was saying that weight loss surgery was some things that people do for health reasons.
Yeah, gastric
So
bypass.
a lot of people will get the BBLs and all those things because of self-esteem issues. And then they do it 3 and 4 and 5 times and a lot of them die on the table.
Yeah.
So what I like I said, I advise everyone to just make good choices. You know, eat healthy, work out, do the right things the right way, because that's not always the best option. And a lot of people nowadays are doing it because it's very easily accessible. You could do it in somebody's basement. You go to DR, you go to Colombia to do the cheap stuff, and they don't do it properly. Now you're crippled or you got a stroke and all these things. So, like I said, tell people just be careful.
Choices.
Yeah.
I had a friend that did that and had to be taken to the hospital.
Did which
You had
one?
injections?
Some sort of injections, yeah. And she had to be taken to the hospital, and I was just like, you know, it's crazy the stuff you do just to get those kind of results. You know, you put your life at risk where you won't even necessarily be able to enjoy it if things don't work out okay. You know, so.
What do you think?
I don't have much to suck out. I don't have much. But I had a little pudge the other day, and I was working out, but I wasn't eating right. And I went to a doctor, and I said, "Can you just suck it out for me?" And he said to me, "Sade, I would love to take your money, but just work out. It just looks better, feels better,
you build good
it's
habits.
smoother." And I said, "You know what? Okay, I'm gonna try." And it took me 7 weeks to lose my belly. Just work.
Yeah.
Just work and put in the work, and you'll get the results.
Yep.
So
What
that's
about
what I
you
have
for
to
you,
say.
Miss Anthea?
It's weird because I feel like I don't have, because I'm not in that space, you know. I would work out before I get a surgery. So I'm not in that space where, you know, I'm considering surgery to have my body look a certain way, you know.
You're not insecure.
No. I mean, I've had insecure moments where I mean,
everybody has
we
insecurities.
pick at our body as women. You know, we look in the mirror, we see things that we don't like, things that we want to change. But I think well, for me, when it comes to surgery, not just talking about BBL or anything, when it comes to surgery, I don't want to go in the hospital. I don't want to be on the table. I don't want to get surgery unless it's mandatory, unless it's something that's going to save my life. So I would do anything.
Natural beauty.
Right. I would do anything to work on myself. You know, it's either I let myself go, which I'm not doing, or I work on myself to improve myself and to build the body that I want, instead of, you know, putting myself on the table.
I say this all the time. I'm not against it. I'm not against you doing it. If you're gonna do it, just do it the right way. And if you're gonna do it,
do your research.
Just make sure you have good habits before and after.
Yeah.
Because you
Good
go do that body, and then in 2-3 years you're gonna have to go do it again because of your bad habits.
Yeah.
You
That
know?
don't make no sense.
And that happens a lot because I watch a lot of YouTube videos with girls crying that their body's out of whack again and they gotta go back.
And it happens.
I really hate that.
So-
for them.
You always put these damn topics on because you want me to just, you know.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
You're going to stand firm in this one. So, as everyone know, I've had surgery. But when I had my surgery because I had 2 babies back to back. And I went in for just the lipo. And at the time, BBLs was a thing. Still a thing. The healthy way, putting your fat
thing more
in
now.
your butt. Right? And my doctor was just like, you're tall, your body will look good with it, blah, blah, blah. And I did it, and I love it. But injections, putting stuff in your body, silicones, all that stuff.
Boring.
That's gonna, that's where you gotta draw the line because you don't know how that's gonna affect you. It's different from moving fats from one place to another. That's different because it's your own fats, your own blood, it's your own everything. And like you said, healthy habits. I lost 20 pounds on my own before that. That's how I ended up getting pregnant. Before having this surgery. So I already was trained on being in the gym and working out. That's how I was able to maintain my investment on my body. But for Black China, I definitely get it because K. Michelle went through the same thing.
Right.
A lot of women go through the same thing. They do this stuff and they go bigger because of the industry and what the industry wants.
Yeah.
It's never about self. It's never about, because if that was the thing, like for me personally, I would go do my breasts, I would get fillers, I would do all that stuff.
Sex sells.
Right, and it's like you have to do it for the right reasons and know that if you're going to do this, my cousin had an issue where she was going to go back to get another round of lipo, and they moved her appointment late to the night. And she said, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Because that was just God saying, like, you don't need to do this.
Yeah.
Again, find what you got to do to get right. Because a lot of the time, these surgeons, they want to pack everyone in, and then that's when things go wrong. They're tired by the end of the night. They're just doing whatever. So you have to be mindful of what you're doing and do your research and all these things. And just don't do shots and all that cemental shit.
I'm not against surgery. I'm not against enhancement. I'm not. I have had enhancement. When my son is now 7, and when he was about 9 months, I went and did breast augmentation. I wanted something really natural. I didn't want the whole world to know I have these gigantic breasts, right? So recently, I had a breast deflation on my left breast. So we went and thank God I'm under warranty. Yeah. 10-year warranty. My son is
Breast under warranty.
So the breast was like, the doctor was like, we can do both. But during the consultation, I said, I don't want this to happen to you. He said, Sade, it's only 1 in 20,000 it will happen to. So it won't happen again. But I said, I had saline. So when the breast deflated, it just dissolved in my body. But I'm like, I don't want this to happen. I want silicone. I just want it there. And he's like, Sade, I make more money taking, you into surgery with silicone. But if you were my daughter, do saline.
Right.
So I went the safer route, which is saline water in case the bag breaks.
Nothing will happen.
Yeah. So he's saying that the silicone, if that ruptures, it will leak into your lymph nodes, and that causes cancer.
Yeah. And I have a friend who has a sister that's going through, what's that thing when you go through dialysis?
Okay.
Because I think it has to don't quote me, through your liver or your kidney or something.
Yeah.
And everything that passes through has to filter through that.
Yeah.
And
Through your liver.
when her breast leaked, it filtered through, and she just got really sick, and she's been sick ever since. And it's just horrendous. You don't really expect that to happen.
Yeah.
But it happened.
And breast was a thing. Breast augmentation was a thing from in the 90s. Like my auntie is a hairstylist, and her breast, snatch waist and big boobs was a thing, and they didn't know no better. They would just get the big silicones and just, So, we make mistakes, and we have to just make better decisions moving forward. Do our research and just...
But safe.
Yeah, just natural appearances. You
Right.
want to be natural, and you also want to understand that whatever habits you had that made you out of shape in the first place is going to make you out of shape after surgery too.
Yeah.
So
Especially if you don't know how to get back in shape.
Yeah, so you need to be able to develop those habits, or else whatever work you did is not going to produce any results that you're looking for.
Yeah. Okay, so
Good luck
we
to
are
Black
gonna.
China.
Yes. Prayers to you. So we're going to do the quote of the day. And the quote of the day is, it is better to be hated for what you are than to be loved for what you are not. I think that's
Okay,
great.
so this quote is perfect, because what happens a lot of times is we try to put on a show or a facade to impress others, just so people could like us or accept us. Everybody knows me. I'm not that guy. You like me, you hate me. I really don't care. I'm always gonna be myself. If I can't operate as myself in any space and I'm not comfortable, I'm just not gonna want to be there. So I advise people, just always try to be authentic self. If your authentic self is good, that is, because a lot of y'all are not good people.
But it's good to be authentic and discover that you're hated, so you can do something about it.
Sometimes the ego won't let a lot of people accept that there's something not right with you. Because for me, one thing I really hate is a loud person. Like, you walk in a room and you're just loud for no reason. So no matter how you tell that person that, they was like that their whole life. So how are you going to tell a person that? You know?
Hate it.
So, like I said, just be yourself. Even if you're a loud, obnoxious
In the right
person,
setting, it's
somebody
still
might
okay.
like that.
Yeah.
You know, somebody might see that and be like, oh, I love that. But just try to always be your authentic self. Don't put on a show or a facade to impress anyone, because it's never worth
To
it.
get attention.
Don't lose yourself trying to do that. You know, Miss Anthea.
Yeah, just stay true to who you are. Know who you are and stay true to that. Don't try to be something that you're not, because you'll never win. You'll never win trying to be somebody else. You'll never win if you're trying to mimic someone else's gifts. You know, find out what your gifts are and just do that.
I like that.
Okay.
For me, I'm always authentic. I've seen people, like even in high school back home in Jamaica, you know, the rich kids pretending to be this and that and the other. They're all losers now.
I have the same experience.
Yeah, they're all
with that,
losers.
yeah.
So to me, it really just shows me you just need to be yourself, be genuine, be whole, and you'll be fine. You know, and you're gonna establish the most amazing relationships with different people. And when you look on Facebook, which I don't really go on Facebook, I've been on Facebook in 2-3 years. But when you run across those people, you realize, oh my God, this person's really lame. Like they used to be the shit in
Yes.
school, and now you're whack.
Right.
It's so crazy how that works.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
You're either whack
blown
or
away.
you went from the hot chick to the fat chick.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? And you just learn. You know, life doesn't end in high school.
Right.
It goes beyond that.
Yeah.
And I just like, you know what? I'm so glad I stayed who I am. And that's been my motto from day one.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
I think consistency is everything.
Yeah.
I think if you're gonna be, like the lady who deep cleans my home, she's amazing at what she does. And she's known for that. You know what I mean? So stay consistent and true to who you are. If it's a hairdresser, a realtor, the one that cleans the house, whatever it is, be known for that.
Yeah.
And be
known
happy
for
with it.
Yeah, and be happy with it. Be known for your skill. Yeah, your purpose, and stay true to that.
So, real quick, and I agree with everyone wholeheartedly. So this brings me back to a topic that happened this week, where real quick, guys. This girl was dating a guy. It was on a radio station. She was dating a guy, and I guess in his past life, he was bisexual. No, he was gay.
Past life?
I'm sorry. In his gay,
Or
he was gay.
previous
In his previous relationships, he was a gay man. And
There's no coming back from that. But anyway.
There's no
I digress.
deliverance.
hold on one second.
I digress.
No deliverance.
Yeah, he was a gay man, and he found God. This is his words. This is what they said on the radio. He found God, and he realized that he should be with a woman. There was an event coming up. I think they've been dating either months or almost a year or something like that. There was an event coming up, and he told her that, you know, my ex is going to be here, but his name is Steven. Right? And her thing was like she didn't know what to do. She fell in love with this man and didn't know he had this past life, or his past was about he was a gay man in his past. And yeah. So it coincides with this quote, and if you would have told her this from the beginning, you don't even know if she would have been like, okay, well, I'll still work with you. You should have said this from the beginning. Now you got her all confused that she doesn't know what's. Now she's calling the radio station, like, help me. So, you know, it's one of those things, like, it doesn't matter if people judge you for who you are. There's going to be someone to love you for whoever you are.
Yeah.
You know,
Yo,
so.
listen, her face, bro. Like,
Whose face? Her face.
Oh, Sade.
yo.
2 things I would go to jail for.
Oh, no.
Children, and a man would trick me into risking my life for HIV, AIDS, or whatever.
And not that it's exclusive to them,
Right.
but
Yeah.
you get it.
But I would
Anyways.
sit.
Let's close out this
Take us out, Stretch.
There's gonna be a part 2 to this episode, so you guys make sure you tune into that. But we're gonna close out this segment by saying, please like, share, subscribe, share with your friends and family. Intake the information. We are the Student to Life podcast, where learning and unlearning has no limits.
Amen.
All right, guys. See y'all next week for part 2.
Ciao.